looking forward to the sacrifice that would be made. Hasn't been made yet, but they were saved by faith looking forward. We're saved by faith looking back at the sacrifice and the blood. So everybody saved or healed is all by the grace of God and through the sacrifice and atonement of Christ. So hopefully that makes sense. And, we do have a book that talks about the blood of Christ. We've got, of course, that book that deals with as God's grace blot out the law. And it talks about the atonement. I was trying to think, we had another one. And I don't remember that one. Yeah. Anyway, does God's grace blot out the law? That'll work.
If you just tuned in and you've got some questions yourself, you can feel free to call us at 1-800. It's available, and you have more flexibility in your retirement, bottom line.
Okay. All right. So, again, at 59, though, there's so many questions right here. When are they looking to retire? Maybe we didn't talk about Social Security, because I think he's looking for strategies for generating consistent income while preserving the capital. And annuity is one of those tools. We're not saying that it is absolutely perfect or it is the answer for you.
And you don't throw all your money into annuities.
Okay, yeah. So he said he's close to $1 million in retirement savings. Do you want to give me a portion?
So his income's so his income is pretty decent, and so he's probably wanting, he probably sees that Social Security won't be enough for retirement. It's not designed for that. So we have to have means, and people are more pushed to set up IRAs and 401ks, 403bs, all that, so they have a source of additional money in retirement. But having this lump of money, $1 million, again, without knowing what additional income he needs, I don't know how much he would need to put into an annuity for future, guaranteed income. I did have somebody recently, they have, I don't know, he does have about $1 million. Oh, he does have this other one I just worked with a few weeks back. A 401k, and I'm showing him we might only use like 300,000, and down the road we turn income on, and the income stream starts at like 50,000 a year and has opportunity to grow from there. So too many questions I'm going to have.
Sprinkle some of those in next half hour in addition to our own thoughts. Okay, so speaking of getting in and out of the golf cart, so one of the things we did on vacation is we did this ATV tour thing, where you ride these big Polaris ATVs, and me and the two kids, and I've done these before where they were too gentle. I mean, it's like, yay, we're driving around at 5 miles an hour on flat roads. Whoopee! This was pretty bouncy, and I mean, we were flying. That's.com.
Absolutely no question about it.
Nice people, nice places to go. I mean, what else could you ask for? You enjoy yourself in Portugal. So a huge thanks to my partner Nancy for being on today and recounting some of the stories that we had from our trip to Portugal, just around the Lisbon area. But it was just amazing. We're going to save the next trip to go north. What do you say? Thanks for being on the show, Nancy.
Thanks, Michael.
You've been listening to the Real Estate and More show, entitled The World Stage Lisbon, Portugal episode. And we'll be right back with our next guest, our next special guest.
Take a cognitive test. While on the Clay and Buck show, Trump said it's an important issue.
Oh, I think we owe it maybe to the public to do it. I think you have an obligation to sort of do it. Last night was not a stellar performance. Again, the gaffe he made earlier on was bad, but last night was not stellar. He called me as vice president.
The subject came up after he was asked about Biden's mental gaffes during Thursday's solo press conference.
I suggest that we go in together and do a cognitive test. We'll do cognitive tests. We'll do it together, like a team.
Meanwhile, concerns about the future of President Biden's 2024 campaign continue. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries met with Biden, where Jeffries expressed what he calls a full breath of insight from his colleagues. That's your Washington Roundup. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information.
Ammunition. You've heard 2 misfires on set. You've heard about all of the lack of oversight in terms of the safety that's on the set. And it is a stretch of the imagination to say that an individual like this, who's an actor, who's in the lead role on a Western, who's done these before, has no understanding as to the safety that's necessary when you're handling a gun that can fire live rounds. And even assuming that he didn't know there was a live round, you cannot point that at another person. You cannot pull the trigger. He did that. And this is why you don't do this. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we talked to you in voir dire. You're all gun owners. You understand, or you have family members that are gun owners. You're from New Mexico. Ultimately, you know that it is a cardinal rule. You never point a gun at anybody unless you are intending to shoot them.
Yeah, you always check the breech. You always check the round. You always check the cylinder to make certain nothing is in it.
And we just can't let this guy fly in here, a pretend New Mexico, cowboy who's from New York,
poser,
basically tell you, how we're supposed to deal with gun safety and let him walk. No way. That sends the wrong message from the great state of New Mexico.
There you go.
The land of enchantment is a land of enchantment for a reason. And you can't be enchanted when you act like an idiot. And he's got to be held responsible. And, that's the argument. And the other argument is, hey, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, look, come on. I mean, if you ask your husband, is the door shut? And you ask your daughter, is the door shut? And they all tell you this door shut, you can rely upon that, and the door's open, your dog gets out, and that's not going to be your responsibility. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Ninth Circuit basically changes the dynamic in regards to homelessness not being a status, but an act in regards to camping, and it's going to change the dynamic in a way